Welcome to the Last Awakening Warriors for the 9th time. Tonight, 2 times it did not work by live streaming, so we had to do this instead. I am your host, Joshua David, and I am here with the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Johnny Walker.
What's up?
Walker.
What's up?
Walker.
Yeah.
Waka waka. What's going on, Johnny? What's going on, bud?
No, muchos. What is up with you, sir?
Nothing. I'm just sitting here chilling
Me too.
with my arm hurting.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. But rumor has it that you had a pretty eventful day yesterday.
Oh, yeah. You know,
Somebody don't like us.
3 or 4 days left of rehab on my shoulder from where I got in an accident 2 months ago. And I was already doing the advanced exercises and stuff.
Now, so 2 months of rehabilitation after a wreck.
Yeah. On my shoulder.
Right.
We had the privilege of getting into another wreck yesterday.
On the way home from what?
On the way home from rehab. From my shoulder. And re-injuring my shoulder. Thank you. Thank you. Hold your applause. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And he's got extra kneecaps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. The one on the left side, man, is humongous.
Yeah.
It looks like my leg grew like another part of it.
Jeez. I bet it feels good.
Oh, yeah.
We're not liked very well. Let's just say that. We're not liked. I don't leave my apartment. You see, this is why I don't leave my apartment.
Well, get this. I don't go anywhere to work.
No, not really.
Here.
Yep. And into therapy and back.
So the first time that I've been to Murfreesboro, where this is at, besides going to rehab, I've went one time because I had to do my training to get the job that I have now.
Right.
That was 4.5 years ago. That I've been to the city of Murfreesboro. Prior to that was 5.5 years ago when we moved here.
So twice in like 9 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So just put it this way. If I wasn't going to rehab for my shoulder for the first time of getting in a car wreck, I wouldn't have re-injured my shoulder because I would have never been in Murfreesboro.
Right.
To get in another wreck to re-injure my shoulder.
Isn't that crazy? But it's all coincidences, Joshua. It's all coincidences.
Yeah, because everyone gets hit in the rear end while sitting outside of your driveway.
Trying to pull in your own driveway. Yeah. Ah, goodness.
But that's not even the craziest thing. I told you the craziest thing today. Craziest thing is like the whole time this is going on, I'm sitting in the car and my only thought during this whole process, seeing the vehicle come, hitting us and everything, during all this time, this whole time, my only thought was, I don't care.
It was like, oh my God, save me, Jesus.
No, it was, I don't care.
Yeah. And why would you when this flesh counts for nothing? and it's not who you truly are.
Exactly.
This life is not your real life. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a testimony. You know what I mean?
It is, and a lot of people won't understand that because they'd be freaking out or whatever.
Yeah.
I was out of the craziest thing is me and my nephew, who was in the back seat. We were the calmest people on scene.
Yeah. And
everybody else was freaking out. All the people that showed up after the wreck were freaking out, and me and him was just like, "We're good."
And you talk to your nephew a lot about truth, right?
I do. He definitely doesn't believe the church narrative at all.
And everybody else does, pretty much. Everybody else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
At least I can actually say things to him, and he doesn't look at me like I'm crazy.
Like you're an alien.
He's kind of into the conspiracy stuff right now.
Conspiratorial. Yeah.
I gotta get this jacket off me. Hold on.
Yep.
Because it's hurting my shoulder. The weight of it is. Oh, there we go. So, how's things with you over at your place?
Gravy, man. They're good. Like, had my last day of eating today. I'm gonna start my shakes back up.
Oh man, I was just gonna mess with him and be like, "Yeah, I'm starting my starvation diet today."
Basically, yeah.
I'm denying the stupid flesh, and it's gonna.
I'm
gonna give it back to Yahweh.
Yeah. I'm going to deny actual food. I'm just going to do the protein shakes, 5 of them a day. And then I go back to my weight loss doctor on.
When do you go back to him?
Valentine's Day. The 14th.
The 14th.
Yep. So Valentine's Day, I'm going way back in, and hopefully I'm down.
Are you going to go in there and like? Never mind. I don't want to. Never mind. Never mind. I was going to say something stupid. Never mind.
Ask the doctor to be my Valentine.
No, like, never mind, dude. I don't want to go there. I'm trying not to offend people today.
Oh, okay. Okay. So no, I'm going to weigh in, and hopefully, because I was close to the weight I needed to get to have my weight loss surgery. Yeah. And then with moving, the expenses and everything like that, it costs too much to get the shakes. I mean, they're like, it's over $100, usually around $150 a month for the shakes. And that's just at the point when I moved, that was one of the things I had to cut.
That was the least thing on the totem pole. Yeah, I got you.
Yep. So I probably gained. Actually, no, I didn't. I actually lost 3 pounds.
Yeah, from the last time.
Yeah, so
hopefully you haven't gained any more.
Yeah, since that doctor appointment.
And between now and then, you can actually get the 20 pounds off you need for the
surgery? 30 pounds, yeah, something like that. In 3 weeks, I could do, even if it was 30, 35 pounds, I could do that in 3 weeks. It's easy. I did.
Yeah, on the drinking diet thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I did like 40. I did like 45 in like 3.5 weeks, so yeah, I could do that. Anyway, so that's what's going on with me.
Cool.
So I what happened is I purposely ate way too much food today. My sister's going on the liquid diet with me, and we both purposely ate way too much food today, and I feel like crap. Yay!
Oh yeah, that's always good. Carb overload.
Carb overload.
Yeah. Gotta love those sugars.
I'm gonna enjoy not having any food tomorrow. I know that.
Well, enjoy away, brother. Enjoy away.
I am, absolutely. So, why are we here? We talked to Brother Jeremy for a while.
Oh, I just wanted to give everybody an update on something else.
Oh yeah, do that.
The link in the description to Good News, the guy we had on last time, to his YouTube channel is in the description box below.
Yeah, Brother Kelly.
Check him out. Also, like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you. The more people who come into these understandings and truths, the more people we can actually associate with and have common interests and things to talk about.
Like-minded people, yeah.
And, I know, Kelly having some other people he can actually conversate with. It's a pretty big deal because
he said it. He was happy to have more other people that didn't look at him crazy when he said what he said.
Right? Some people actually know some things, right?
Yeah. And he was honest when he said, we were lucky to have each other going through this process. And we acknowledge that all the time. We really do. I don't know what it would be like finding these truths and not being able to bounce them off Josh. That would, I'm thankful, right? I'm thankful. I can't even, just thinking about it, I don't know.
I love you, man.
Right. Dude, I don't know if I could have done it. I don't know. I think it's,
look, man,
the father wanted it that way.
Look, I'm telling you this right now. And I've told you this since day one. The first time we ever started talking about any of this stuff, like 5-something years ago. I know why I'm here. I know the people who I'm supposed to help wake up.
Yeah.
And I've known that since I was little.
Yeah.
So, these things aren't accidents. And, it's, to me, what's crazy is that it took someone else in a conversation that I had with another person to actually wake me up fully. Like, that's mind-boggling to me. And from what I know, this person ain't even in the kingdom. But it's conversations with that person that my spirit woke up.
Yeah.
The me that I've been searching for since I was 5, returning back to that age of innocence before I went to school, came back. So,
and that person doesn't need to be in the kingdom because we can find truth anywhere. Like we're talking with Brother Jeremy, about truth in the Matrix movie, truth in the Avatar movie.
Right.
We can find truth all over the place, and it doesn't have to be coming from a Christian preaching from the King James version of the Bible.
I wasn't even in the kingdom.
Yeah.
But having conversations with somebody, it can change. And that's the crazy thing, and like just simple, small conversations that most people would think were pointless and stupid with somebody can royally just change your life in a moment.
Right.
So how certain people feel about other people, we get these attachments sometimes with the person who helped us wake up or whatever.
Right.
And the reality is, it was basically the father and that person talking to the father, my person, which is ultimately me waking me up.
Exactly. You were remembering.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how we tell our people all the time. It's nothing we've said that made anything happen for you. It's just we're telling our stories about what the Father has done with us
and showed us.
If something resonates with you, it's your spirit that takes hold of that, and you remember. It's you that did it. We're not teachers. We were talking earlier about how a teacher is somebody that has a set of knowledge, right? Yeah. And they can deposit that set of knowledge into people that are listening.
Yeah,
right?
I use the analogy of a teacher, showing you 2 + 2 is 4.
Yeah.
Like they can teach you 2 + 2 is 4.
Yeah. There's certain rules and regulations and stories and about history, all these different things, and they can impart to somebody.
Yeah.
We're not imparting anything, not purposely. If you get something, we love it. We love the fact that people
it's like
grab hold of
I was
something.
saying, no one can teach you these things. It's impossible for someone else to teach you these things that have been revealed. It can't be taught. Like even us saying in telling our own truths that were revealed to us, we can't teach you them.
No.
You have to search out on your own accord, in yourself, these truths. And the Spirit inside of you will remind you of these things that you knew before.
Just the fact of trying to explain to somebody just who the Father is, the unbegotten, like,
the unnameable, like
the omnipresent,
the non-existent, but got the existent. Like that right there. What are you talking about?
Exactly. There's not words in the English language, or even in the human language, in any part of time that is good enough or worthy enough to be able to describe that.
Not in its accuracy.
No. We can kind of get there. We can kind of explain. That's why we don't plan what we're going to say. Like everything we're talking about right now, this isn't even what we plan to talk about.
No.
This is just stuff that's literally coming out on the fly. Open your mouth, just like, Christ said, open your mouth, I'll put the words in there. And that's what we do. That's all we do. There's no teaching involved here. Again, for anybody that thinks we're teachers of some kind of new doctrine or religion.
I can tell you this right now. Whatever you're taught, whatever someone can teach you, I'm going to tell you right now. 1, it's a lie. 2, it's a story and made up, which is also a lie. So
has no value.
Anything that school can teach you, it's a lie.
Yep.
Now, do those things work in this realm that we live in?
Yeah. In this world, yes.
But
absolutely,
we are not of this world. The true you is not of this existence.
No, so, anything that you can be taught at school or a person can teach you, even in church, those things can be used in religion. Those things can be used in academics or the workforce or whatever. Anything you can learn in any of these systems can be used in this realm. They have nothing to do with your spirit, nothing to do with love, nothing to do with the Father that's in you.
Exactly. And the same thing with religion. If they can teach you it, it's story. It's made up.
Yep. It's man's doctrine.
If they have to keep telling you over and over again, like from the time you're a small kid to the time you're grown, it's nonsense.
How many church services and how many sermons do you have to sit under preaching the same narrative? There's people like Brother Kelly was talking about the other day, people that have sat in church and they're 80 some years old and life still sucks.
Yeah.
But they keep believing and they keep putting that money in the offering plate.
Yep.
And they're still scared. They're at the end of their life now and they're still wondering, man, I've followed this God my whole life. I've stuck to these rules and regulations, just like the rich man. I've kept all these rules, right? I've kept them all. And they still wonder, but when I take my last breath, am I right? Was I right by doing this?
What does the Bible say about those who, what profit does it do a man to gain the whole world, the whole cosmos?
Yeah.
What do you think the cosmos is?
This world.
Yeah, but what does that entail? How do you gain the cosmos? How do you gain the world? It's through knowledge. It's through what someone else tells you.
Yep.
You've gained all the knowledge of this world
And it's riches. Some people, they got the riches and the fame and the acknowledgement.
It's all encompassed in that. It's all encompassed in that. You've gained everything that this world has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And they've told you everything that they know. Everybody in this world has told you what they know. Science has told you. Religion has told you. You've profited nothing.
Lose your own soul.
Why? Because there's nothing in this life that can profit you. It's all going to pass away.
Yep. What won't pass away?
You have to go into the kingdom of yourself. Heaven within you. And then you're not of this world anymore.
Yep.
Profiting the world is keeping this life and this existence. And you're trying to save this, and you're going to lose it.
Yep.
You're going to lose the true life that's eternal for one that is fleeting and ends.
It's but a breath.
Yep.
That's a good word, man. Oh, that is really good. So, what is it that we were really coming? Maybe all that was why we were really coming on.
Maybe.
Yeah. So we have some real we have a nice word that we're excited about. So you want to go ahead and hit that real quick?
Which one? Which one do you want to go with first?
Let's go with
let's just go with the Thessalonians one, 1 Thessalonians.
Yeah, and build up to the lady. Yeah.
Okay. So this is kind of going off the same idea we was talking about just a moment ago about this existence, gaining this world, and also us trying to explain in the terms that we use to try to explain what we're even talking about. And this is why some people believe we started a religion.
Yeah.
Because we're using some of the same terms that they use. Because there's no other way to explain these things to someone else. In that, when I'm trying to tell someone the truth that I've been revealed, I have to communicate on the level that they're somewhat at in ways that in which they talk.
Something they can relate to. Like if me and Josh were talk to other people, like in the church, the way we talk to each other, it is literally us talking in tongues. Literally, they will not know what we're saying.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff they don't understand. Like, they'll think we're aliens. And Brother Kelly was talking about the same thing. People like cocking their head and looking at you weird.
Yeah.
It's that's literally the way it would be. If they think that we started a cult now or some kind of religion now, I mean, if we talk to them like we talk to each other, it'd be impossible for them to get what we're saying. Yeah. It really would. Until you get in the kingdom, you just don't get it.
Right. And this is why, like, Kelly and some of the other people we listen to, we can all use different terminology and stuff, and those who are in the kingdom know what they're saying. And it doesn't matter the words that they're using, because the message behind the words, it's the same.
Absolutely.
So this is kind of on that same thing, and I just something the other day when we was talking with Kelly, him saying that he uses the word Christ to get people to focus on something other than the man, the idol, right? You know, the
other than Jesus. Yeah.
And then tonight when we was talking, the spirit of truth inside of me said something to me, and I was like, it's interesting. And it has to do with Christ, actually. And this is what he showed me. So we're in 1 Thessalonians 4:13. Brothers and sisters, we do not want you to be uninformed about those who sleep in death, so that you do not grieve like the rest of mankind who have no hope. Now, right off the bat, when you die, if you're not in the kingdom, you're sleeping in death.
Mm-hmm.
Those who are in the kingdom return back to their Father, just like the person on the cross who died. Father, into your hands I
commit my spirit.
I commit my spirit. He went back to the Father. He was not in no body sleeping.
Mm-mm.
But what is Paul telling you here, though? If you're not in the kingdom, you're asleep in death.
Yep.
You're literally sleeping inside the grave. Asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Because you weren't in the kingdom. That's interesting.
You're just waiting to get called up.
Yep. To the God of
you're waiting.
This world, not the Father.
Yeah, you're sleeping and you're waiting
God of
for
this
that.
Cosmos, not the Father.
Yeah. And I think you probably got that scripture too, don't you?
Which one?
The dead in Christ.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay.
So, 14. For we believe that Jesus died and rose again. Why would he go and make it a point to say that those who are dead and sleeping believe that Jesus died and rose again?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus went back to the Father again. I'll say that again. Jesus went back to the Father.
Yep.
But Paul's going to make sure you know that we believe. Paul does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not the rest of the disciples.
Nope.
He's talking about him. He's talking about Luke. He's talking about Barnabas. All the ones who followed him. We believe.
Mm-hmm.
All his apostles, not the disciples.
And now the church believes.
Now the church believes Paul.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We believe Jesus died and rose again.
Right.
So we believe that God, now this is Yahweh, will bring Jesus, or bring with Jesus those who have fallen asleep in him.
Yep.
Why are you sleeping in him?
In a man.
Yeah.
Because that's what you were taught.
Yep.
To believe in.
Those people who are asleep, when it means in him, it means those people who are asleep, who believed Paul's nonsense about him.
Yep.
You know, when you asked him to come into your life, to your existence, inside of you,
save your soul.
Jesus to come in.
Mm-hmm.
This is telling you that you're not even absent from the body. To be present with the Lord. He's already with you. In your body. In your sleep. In the ground. You did not go back to the Father. Like Jesus did. The real Jesus. The one who was inside. The true Son.
Yep.
According to the Lord's word. Well, that's Baal. The Lord. The Lord's word. The Baal's word.
Mm-hmm.
We tell you that we who are still alive, who are left until the coming of the Lord will certainly not precede those who have fallen asleep. For the Lord himself, Baal, the Lord, will come down from heaven, physical heaven, not the one inside of you, heaven, where Jesus said, you, the heavens inside of you. No, this is one coming from the sky.
Yep.
With a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet
of Yahweh.
Call of God. Baal with the, see, this is also like what's his name talks about too, Kelly, Yahweh and Elyon.
Yeah.
And that, like here, the archangel with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. This is what the Father gave me. The dead in Christ. I'm not in Christ. I know who I am.
Yeah.
They're dead. And just for those people where this actually coincides with, we're going to show that too. And this is the verse we used the other day. Mark 12:27. He is not the God of the dead. Jesus' Father is not the God of the dead in Christ, the dead in Jesus. He's not their God.
Nope.
But of those who are living.
That's right.
In the kingdom living.
That know who they are.
And that's why he told them, you have badly mistaken. Just like Paul.
And that's why he said, let the dead bury the dead.
Let the dead who aren't living.
They ain't in the kingdom.
They're not in the kingdom.
Let them deal with the ones that
bury
died.
The dead.
What the Father was showing me when we were talking about that earlier, let the dead bury the dead. Let the ones that aren't in the kingdom, the ones still living in sin under the bondage and law of the church, of the covenant that Yahweh put the children of Israel under, and that Paul has tried to pull all of us into, and did a pretty good job. That was the sin. Let the dead living in the sin of law bury the ones that died in their sin.
Yeah, and
they died and went to sleep in it.
Right, and this is what Paul's talking about here when he says, we tell you that we who are still alive. No, they're dead too.
Yep, they're the walking dead.
They're the walking dead, exactly.
Dead man walking.
They're still in this existence and have not passed away, but they're not in the kingdom, so they're dead.
Yeah. That's what he means by let the dead bury the dead.
Exactly.
People would be like, well, how can a dead man, there's somebody that's already dead, bury somebody that died?
Because they're not in the kingdom. They're not alive.
Exactly.
They're imagined. They're dead already.
And when you were talking
the
about
prodigal son. was dead. Yep. But when he returned back to the kingdom, he was alive.
He's now alive because he found the kingdom again. That's right.
Same thing. Paul's teaching you nonsense, lies, utter lies.
And when he was talking about grieving, and not to grieve, because if you're alive, if you know Christ, and you're Christ, you have hope. Why is it that even in the church, when somebody passes away, everybody's losing it?
How's Christendom doing right now with the news of Jack Van Impe dying?
Jack Van Impe, I mentioned it to my dad, and he's like, "Oh my gosh," and he was hurt. He was hurt by it. He was that poor man.
Here I am. I'm sitting in a car and have no cares about the truck that's getting ready to destroy the vehicle I'm in. The car's totaled. The whole front of the car was gone.
Yep.
And I'm just like,
about a foot and a half, 2 feet from literally T-boning Josh right in his side.
He might actually hit the door, because I actually had to push it open myself, and it was ripped. Like, there's parts of it that's like on the inside part of it was just ripped in half.
Yeah. So literally maybe a foot from smashing Josh to pieces.
And I'm sitting there like, right. I don't even care.
Well, you know what, Joshua? That's just sick. That's just sick and morbid and macabre. And what are you, a sadist? You see the masochist?
No, this life doesn't mean anything. This existence here in this cosmos means nothing.
Yeah, the man told us 2,000 years ago this flesh counts for nothing.
Exactly.
So why is he worried about if it gets destroyed? Now, are we going to go out seeking? Are we going to purposely walk in front of a diesel? No, because we're supposed to love ourselves, right? It's like we're supposed to love others. And we're here.
That's the whole thing.
Like
the love inside of me and who I am, I love immensely. But I'm not trying to hold on to this life. I'm not trying to save this life because it means nothing.
Yeah. We're not trying to save it. You ain't going to try to go out and lose it, right? Like I said, you're not going to throw yourself in front of a train.
No.
If something occurs, you don't freak out. If a doctor gives you a bad diagnosis, you're not losing your mind. You're not going to a bunch of people, "Oh, please pray for me. Please pray for me." And then maybe, you know what? If somebody wants to pray for you because they care about you and that's what you want, whatever. Right. We ain't judging nobody. But you're not freaking out. You're not going crazy. Right?
No, there's no need to.
No need to. Because if something's happening to this body and it's the plan, then it's the plan. Right?
I can't hear you right now.
All right. Then I don't know why I'm speaking to you. I'll just speak to the people. We've had gremlins all night attacking. This is the third time we made this video.
Yeah, my headphones dropped off at the back of my head.
Yeah, that would interrupt us.
Yeah, just a little bit.
A little bit. We're all right. We got some more scripture anyway.
We do. Let's see here.
Just made for an abrupt segue.
Yeah. Let's see. You want to go to Luke now?
Yeah, let's go to the Luke story.
All right. All right, so we're in Luke chapter 8. And as soon as my computer gets
and while he's looking that up, we'll go ahead and kind of try to swoop into this part of it. what Paul was talking about was nonsense. And what you have to do is try to find the kingdom so that you won't be just sleeping.
Exactly.
Right? That you're not going to be the
Trust
dead
me.
in Christ.
Do you want to live the existence that you've already lived for eternity? And it's not even real eternity. It's only age enduring.
Age enduring.
Because that's all the God of this world can offer you. Age enduring life. It's not eternal. It's going to pass away.
Yep.
But you can be eternal if you go into the kingdom of you and remember who you are.
Remember who you are. That's right.
Remember back to when you was a child.
And this is a little story that kind of shows you someone that sought the kingdom.
Yeah. That's so. Let's set up this. Do you want to go to Leviticus and kind of set up where this whole idea of this woman even came from?
Sure.
Okay,
sure,
so
go ahead now.
The cross reference for this verse is actually in Leviticus 15:25.
Moses laying down some laws.
Yes. And it has to do with a woman who is bleeding. She has an issue of blood. And the bleeding that she's doing, we're going to get into it because it don't polish no words, that's for sure. So we're in Leviticus.
Adults, we can do it.
So in Leviticus 15:25, when a woman has a discharge of blood for many days at a time other than her monthly period, or has a discharge that continues beyond her period, she will be unclean as long as she has the discharge, just as in the days of her period. Now, back in these times, women would have to go into a specific tent until they were done ministrating, and then they had to wait like 7 days or something or something like that. It was a whole bunch of stuff they had to do until they were considered clean again.
And they have to go to the priest, and then they have to give an offering.
Yeah.
And then get cleaned and everything. It was a whole process.
Yeah.
Just because you had your period, they considered you unclean. You could not be around the public.
No, right.
You couldn't be around the rest of the public. You were dirty.
Yeah. And this is why this verse is in the cross reference with the woman with the issue of blood.
Yeah.
From what the issue of blood was, what people talk about, well, she had this or she had that. She was probably doing this. This is why this is the cross reference in Leviticus here. She was doing this for 12 years.
She had a continual period, in other words, for 12
Basically
years.
For 12 years.
It wouldn't stop.
And they couldn't get it to stop.
Yep.
Because if somebody was had something else where they were literally hemorrhaging blood, other than
they'd be dead.
They would be dead.
Yeah. They'd be dead with it. This is a slow loss of blood, which would be debilitating. It would make you weak.
Yeah,
and then you got to think that in this situation, you're thought to be unclean and sinful.
Exactly. She was unclean the whole time this was happening.
So she's considered like a leper. All right.
Not far from it. That's for sure. She wasn't kicked out. She wasn't kicked out of the city or anything.
But quarantined.
But she was definitely quarantined. Yes.
And she was considered dirty and sinful and not allowed around the rest of the people of the town.
Right. And she had to be sectioned off by herself in this area, because this is what it says in the next verse in 26. Any bed she lies on while her discharge continues will be unclean, as is her bed during her monthly period, and anything she sits on will be unclean as during her period. Wherever she went, okay, for one, was considered unclean. Wherever she sat, wherever she laid on anything, automatically unclean.
They didn't have the women's hygienic stuff that we have today.
Yeah.
So there was issues with it's going to get on things.
Yeah.
So you can only clean so many cloths and stuff.
Right, and it even gets even crazier. And this is why she was quarantined too. Anyone who touches them will be unclean. So if you touch the chair that she was set on, you're unclean. They must wash their clothes, bathe in water, and they will be clean until evening. Or they will be unclean until evening. So there was even a time period associated with it until you became clean.
The rest of that day, you're unclean.
Yeah.
So the new day started at night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like this stuff is crazy. Like this is maddening, is what this is. And she was dealing with this for 12 years.
And all these are laws that kept people under bondage.
Yeah. So
these are all laws that kept you under bondage.
So we're setting this story up by giving you this context of what she was in.
Yep.
She was bound in like a room or in the Leviticus, it was a tent separated from everybody else.
Yeah, there's a movie called The Red Tent. It's a pretty good movie, and it's about what happens in the tent. And most women, you'll notice when women are around each other for long periods of time, when you work with coworkers or family members, their menstrual cycle coordinates. It synchronizes.
Yeah.
So there's like a week out of the month that this lady would have had company, or she would have had companions, or other women.
Yeah.
That were now having their menstrual cycle. But then 3 weeks out of the month, she would be alone.
Yeah.
All alone, and couldn't go nowhere.
And this was happening for 12 years.
12 years.
All right.
Yeah.
So now we're going to pick up in Luke where the story actually begins with his version of what actually happened in the time of Jesus. And a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
The bleeding, like we said, was her menstrual cycle. But no one could heal her.
Yep.
Verse 44, she came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak. Now, doing so by Jewish law, he was immediately unclean.
Yeah.
Because anywhere she went, anything she touched automatically became unclean.
And now there was people surrounding him like crazy. He goes on to tell this in the story Josh is going to read. So that means fighting through the crowd, she was making all kinds of people unclean.
Yes.
According to this law.
According to Jewish law.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into some other things too, like she literally had to leave the place where she had to be to get and push through the crowd. So she broke the law when she left.
She broke the law.
She was breaking the law and making everyone unclean every time she touched somebody pushing through the crowd.
Yep.
She even made, by Jewish law, the cloak of Jesus unclean by touching the hem of it.
Made Jesus unclean. Jesus couldn't be unclean, Joshua. What are you speaking?
According to Jewish law, he was.
Law. That's right. That's right.
But this is a parable.
Yes. There's other meanings to this. We'll get to it.
Yes. Okay. Did I read that part yet? She came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak, and immediately her bleeding stopped. Immediately her bleeding stopped. When
just
she
like that.
Touched the hem of the garment. Who touched me? Jesus asked. When they all denied it, Peter said, Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you. But Jesus said, someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me.
Yep.
Then the woman, seeing that she could not go unnoticed, came, trembling, and fell at his feet. In the presence of all the people, she told why she touched him and how she had been instantly healed. Then he said to her, Daughter, your faith has healed you.
Yeah.
Go in peace. So, where do you want to get into this at?
Real quick, I just got that, like, when she came and fell before him in front of everybody and told what happened. That's us, man. That's us doing what we're doing right now in front of everybody and their God.
I can tell you what this really is.
Because in another chapter, it says she spoke all truth to him, right?
Yeah. This is,
and that's what we're doing.
This is you coming before men and confessing him.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the presence of all the people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's referring to there.
Yeah.
But also, what this is referring to as well is this is you getting rid of all the religious nonsense and rules and regulations.
Breaking off the rules. Breaking
all the rules that they say are laws.
Yep. And what was Jesus here, Josh? Tell him real quick. This here story.
Jesus in this,
not about her. Yeah, go ahead.
Jesus in this story was the kingdom.
Kingdom represents the kingdom. Yeah.
Notice, all the people were pressing up against him. Mm-hmm. They were all around him.
Mm-hmm.
But only one actually went into the kingdom.
Yep.
And it was the one that pressed through the crowd.
Yep.
The religious crowd surrounding the kingdom. The religious laws and people surrounding the kingdom.
Blocking you from the kingdom.
Blocking you from the kingdom.
Mm-hmm. So
and this is going to bring up the verse I seen today.
So she was seeking first the kingdom. None of this other crap worked. Doctors didn't work. Religious people didn't work. And all these people blocking
none of those Pharisees
her from
worked.
getting to Jesus. And none of it worked. 12 years. 12 years. But she sought first the kingdom. And then her problems, all these things will be added. Right? All the issues will be taken care of. Because she sought first and she pressed forward. What scripture do you got, Josh?
I'm trying to find it. The stupid keyboard's not working. It's making me mad.
Gremlins all night.
Man, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Do it in Joshua version. Go ahead.
No, I got it. I found it. It actually let me type it in. This is a verse I saw earlier. Luke 11:52. And probably right now, Good News, when he watches this, is going to be like, yeah, I saw that verse today too. It was the kingdom of truth. Yeah, I listened to him too. I didn't know anybody else did but me, but I guess he's somebody else we both listen to.
We have a lot of similarities with Mr. Good News, that's for sure.
Woe to the experts in the law, because you have taken away the key to knowledge. The kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
You yourselves have not entered. You are the crowd pressing against the kingdom.
Yep.
But you're not pressing in the kingdom to enter. You're hindering those who want to enter.
You're blocking it up. Yep. And that's when you have a form of godliness but deny the true power. Yep. You're Christ-like. You look like you're there. You look like you're trying to get there, but you're not really. You're not really.
So you had
don't really
this
want anybody,
woman
you don't,
break all
you don't want anybody else.
The Jewish laws,
mm-hmm.
pressing through the crowd that's trying to stop her from getting to the kingdom.
That's right.
But she forces her way through because her getting to the kingdom and her getting healed, which is actually being preserved, how you are. Notice that the healing is the preservation of the soul in that context. And she makes also, it into the kingdom.
Also, when it talks about narrow is the gate, if you imagine her trying to force her way through and trying to, through all these people and on the ground, trying to crawl amongst their legs and stuff.
Yeah, and I guarantee
the opportunity would be so small to just grab the hem of it.
Yep. Yeah.
Narrow is the gate.
Yeah. And I guarantee you, her friends were there. She was pressing past her friends and all the physicians that told her she couldn't be healed, all the people who lied to her whole life.
Yep.
And gave her all these stupid rules and regulations. She had to press past all that to get to the kingdom. In other words, she had to let go of everything that she'd been told her whole life.
Yep.
Because the kingdom was more important than anything.
Yep.
And in this reality, it is.
This is such an awesome word, because like I was talking earlier, I was thinking to a time where my soul, I had an issue of blood. My soul was hemorrhaging. It was sick. And I would be in church and stuff, and I'd be at home after church, and I'd be like, man, it was such a good service, but I feel so let down now. And I'm missing something, and something ain't there, and I can't stop this bleeding, right? And you're in agony. You can feel like this lady, she's always weak, right? All this discharge of blood, this loss of blood constantly. And my soul, I was weak.
Yeah, and what did the physicians keep telling you, John?
The doctor, the preachers kept saying, it's your faith, it's your problem. You don't have the faith.
Well,
you have
some of them would tell you that, and some of them would tell you some other nonsense. Some of them would tell you, you need to go pray in the prayer closet. And another one would go tell you, this physician wants you to do this, and you do that for 3 days, and nothing works.
Yep. There's always a word, but never an answer.
Imagine that.
Always a word, but never the real answer. Never saying, hey, the kingdom's within you. Look to that. No, they're pressing in around the kingdom, pressing in around truth, because they have to look like they're seeking the kingdom. They have to look like they're Christ-like. They have to look like they want to know the word from the Father.
It's like standing next to like a big spotlight, right? When you stand in front of the spotlight, you look like you're glowing. And the people don't realize that if they went past you, you're not glowing at all.
Yeah.
It's the light that's behind you.
People that seek to be around famous people. I could feel like I'm famous or popular if I could just be around them for a minute. Well, if I like, groupies. You got women that want to be with rock stars or actors or stuff. If I could be with them like that, then I could feel popular for a second. All these people want to be around the kingdom, but not enter it.
Yeah, they want to be around the fire, but they don't want to be in the fire.
Yeah, they want to be around famous people, but they don't want to make the effort to get to where they were, right?
And why is that? Because they don't ever feel worthy enough to be that person or to be famous.
Exactly.
They have no self-confidence. They have no self-worth. All they have is that if they can be next to something. No, I want to be something.
Yeah. Yep. I don't want to be like a god.
I am.
I wanted to be exactly like Jesus told the Pharisees, you're all gods. You're all eternal.
Yep.
You're all worthy because you all have the Father in you from day one.
Day one.
What does that make you? I am.
Yep.
That's what it makes me. Blasphemy, Joshua.
Before
blasphemy.
He was, I am.
That's right. Before Yahweh, I am.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. This is good stuff tonight, boy. Woo.
Oh yeah. No, but going back to like this whole idea of like trying to explain these things, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's man, it's crazy that the people who do wake up, like they even understand.
Yeah.
And it's the Father in them that recognizes what, when he hears himself, he recognizes himself and he will never deny himself.
Right.
That's why his words will never come back void.
Right.
Because they can't. They can't come back void. He knows his own words.
Yep.
He knows what we're saying.
That's awesome stuff. You know what I enjoyed tonight, man? Is talking with Brother Jeremy and Miss Sadie, and them just seeking truth.
Yeah.
You know, looking in the Word, wanting to know where this is at, where this is at. I love that. I love that, man.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing people changing all over the place already. I can imagine if this was a bigger stage. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing people's lives change, that just amazes me. And the Father, the love, amazes me all the time, and always will. I mean, it should be expected, and it is.
You think that this isn't a big stage, bro? This is the biggest stage, bro.
Yeah.
We're on the biggest stage of them all. And we're saying and telling our truths that was been revealed to us. It doesn't get no bigger than this, bro.
The lady revealing her truths in front of everybody, the whole crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went before all of them and told her truths.
Right.
Her truths. She didn't give him no story about all the nonsense.
Yeah, I think it was Mark. I think it was Mark where it said it was the same story, but in Mark, it said she spoke all her truths.
Yeah, she spoke what was true. And this is the same thing the lady at the well did. She didn't lie. She didn't lie to Jesus when he was there.
Yeah, Sadie was talking about that earlier.
And when did Jesus didn't condemn her?
And you got Christians today.
Jesus didn't even say, go and sin no more.
No.
Jesus didn't even consider her sinning.
Yep.
Why?
The things she was doing didn't consider sin.
Let me ponder on why Jesus wouldn't think a woman who wasn't married wasn't sinning. Oh, he told us not to take vows. And with the one that she was with, currently, she didn't take no vow.
Yep.
That's called rightly dividing right there, boys and girls.
Well, and they wasn't under the rules.
No, she was a Samaritan.
She went under the rules.
They didn't worship the same God as the Jewish people. Imagine that.
And when there is no law, there is no sin.
Exactly.
So why would he have to forgive somebody who wasn't under the law?
Who wasn't under the sin. Curse of the law that Paul said.
The covenant with Yahweh.
Imagine that.
Exactly.
Because they're closer to the kingdom than the Jews ever were.
Yep.
This is why we talked before about the tax collectors and the harlots going in before the Jews.
Yep.
Imagine that. But Jews are the chosen people, blah, blah, blah. Nope. The ones who thought they were first are actually last. And the ones they considered last, the Gentiles, they're actually first.
Unless you follow Paul's teaching and accept the covenant.
A new covenant.
Yahweh as well.
Somebody's covenant.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Ain't no chains on me, brother.
No, I'm free.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you ain't got anything left to say or want to talk about, I'm good. If you're good,
I'm good, dude. I think this was our best one yet.
Always,
always the best one yet.
We are the Last Awakening Warriors. I am your host, Joshua David, and this is Johnny Walker. Do the will of the Father that's within you. He's been there your whole life.
That's right.
And sometime, probably around the age of 7, you left. And we actually have some interesting ideas on that, too, on why that is.
Yeah.
There we go. Got the camera to focus a little bit. Any last words, Johnny?
Before what? That's scary. But not really. Be blessed and be a blessing to someone else.
Always.